Live from the News Center of National Communication Network.
One vision, one unity, one country. Good morning, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. It's Friday, 30th day of September, and I hope that you're having a great day. I am Wendelin H. Adridan, and this is STS News, bringing you the headline news that are surely with no bias. For the details of our news, let us look back to our former President Joseph Ejercito or Erap's Estrada's achievement in science and technology and how it helped Philippines as a nation.
For the headline. Joseph Ejercito Estrada is a Filipino politician and former actor. He served as the 13th President of the Philippines from 1998 to 2001, the 9th Vice President of the Philippines from 1992 to 1998, and the 21st Mayor of the City of Manila from 2013 to 2019. In 2001, he became the first chief executive in Asia to be formally impeached and resigned from power. At the age of 85, he is currently the oldest living former Philippine president.
With this, we invited a political journalist who undoubtedly we are fortunate enough to have her here in our studio and is willing to be interviewed to share her thoughts and knowledge about the scientific and technological achievements of our former president as well as how he helped shape Philippines as a nation. Please welcome our political journalist, Ms. Keisha Doblas. It's a pleasure to have you here in STS News, Ms. Douglas. People are now curious as to what are those you can remember the scientific and technological achievements of our former president and how it shaped the Philippines as a nation.
Good morning, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. First and foremost, I want to thank Wendy and the management for inviting me. It's an honor to be here and share my point of view with everyone. To answer your question, Wendy, as a political journalist for many years, I have been introduced to and researched the accomplishments of our past presidents. As for our former president, Joseph Ejercito Estrada, he had a lot of accomplishments that helps boost science and technology in our country, the Philippines, be more responsive in the challenges of globalization, and these programs are the creation of PhilJobNet to improve the job placement and information network in the country through IT, the launching of the Mobile Information Technology Classroom in Mindanao, the strengthening of the National Computer Center, and in fact, there are two major legislations that he signed, the Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999 and the Electronic Commerce Act of 2000. Aside from this, in his first State of the Nation address, he launched a full-scale program based on cost-effective irrigation technologies and said to speed up the program with establishing one science high school in every province. And in his last State of the Nation address, he pushed for the advancement of industries and schools into the Internet age as well as the announcement of the passage of E-Commerce Act. With all the accomplishments I have mentioned, Wendy, I consider it evident how our former President Estrada assisted in helping the Philippines strive as a nation in terms of introducing us and advancing in science and technology. I believe the effectiveness of these accomplishments are now transparent with regard to the question on how he helped the Philippines strive as a nation.
Wow, that's awesome. No doubt, it's a lot. We appreciate your time in attending to our interview here in STS and for coming to our studio. Once again, our political journalist, Ms. Keisha Q. Doblas. Thank you for coming here, ma'am. Let us keep our conversation running. And up next is an interview to be revealed together with the Department of Science and Technology giving their insights about the former President Erap Estrada. STS News will be right back. And we are back. Science and technology is an interdisciplinary field that examines the creation, development, and consequences of science and technology in their historical, cultural, and social context. To trace up the contribution of science and technology, we have here live online our STS patroller, Miss Mary Rose Ipanag. Rose?
Wendy, I am here at the Department of Science and Technology to ask our Undersecretary for Scientific and Technological Services, Ms. Crisel Golosino, with her observation and how science and technology contributes to our country, Philippines. Ms. Golosino, thank you for the opportunity to be interviewed. It's an honor for us to have you today. As the Undersecretary for Scientific and Technological Services, what are those achievements in terms of science and technology that you can still remember from our former President, Joseph Estrada, and what have you observed with the development of these achievements before and up to the present?
Thank you, ma'am. It's a pleasure to be here. To answer your question, the achievements that I can still remember from Estrada's administration in terms of science and technology are the implementation of the GAINS Expert Program or GAINEX, the setting up of regional food microbiology laboratories, and the implementation of the climate information monitoring and production services. From the development of these achievements before and up to the present, I observed that these accomplishments have a beneficial impact on our beloved Philippines, where all members of society benefit from them. It assists our society in improving our economy, health, food circumstances, and weather condition. Filipinos' life is beginning to improve as a result of these accomplishments. That would be all, ma'am.
Once again, our Undersecretary for Scientific and Technological Services, Ms. Crisel Golosino. This is Mary Rose Ipanag for STS News. Back to you, Wendy.
Thank you so much, Rose. Next in line, we will be interviewing someone from the well-known University of Bohol. STS News will be right back soon. Guarantee you more details about Estrada administration. We will not only present you an interview from a seasoned journalist and undersecretary, but we will also present you a viewpoint of a student. We have now in line from the one and only well-known Bohol Island State University. Let me welcome Miss Vanessa Irene Humarito, a second-year student from Bachelor in Secondary Education, major in Mathematics. Good morning, Miss Humarito, and thank you for giving us an opportunity to interview you.
Good morning, Wendy. Thank you for the management for inviting me. It's my pleasure.
Okay, Miss Vanessa, I have here 3 questions for you. Among all the laws signed by the former President Ejercito Estrada, which one do you find the most relevant in our society? What do you think are the major contributions of science and technology in building the nation? And as a student, what policies do you wish that Estrada administration have implemented that would probably help the future or the near future and that can help our country, especially in the eradication of poverty?
Well, Wendy, for that question, well, we all know that the former President Joseph Ejercito Estrada didn't finish his presidency as the President of the Philippines because he is impeached. But even with the short span of his administration, he also have signed a lots of laws. And one of his laws that I think is the most relevant in our society today is the Republic Act 8972, or the Electronic Commerce Act of the Philippines. The Electronic Commerce Act is the act of providing the use of electronic commercial and non-commercial transactions, the penalties of unlawful use thereof, and other purposes. The reason why I think this law is one of the most relevant in our society because this law allows us the use of electronic messages, electronic signatures, and electronic documents. Well, electronic messages also refers to the messages that we sent and we received. And we can also use electronic signatures in signing contracts through electronic apps. Electronic documents includes the receipts when we shop online. When we get our license, we can have it electronically delivered. So it is also it is also a kind of electronic documents. Therefore, this Electronic Commerce Act makes everything easy to us. We don't need to have a hard copy of everything, and we can use electronic documents also when it comes to laws with evidences. Like for example, it is very rampant crime today when you are blackmailed by someone you met online that they will post something about you. You can use that. You can screenshot your conversation, and you can use that as a document when you go to the police station for a blotter, and that will be a valid evidence as long as it is not tampered and it is not fake or edited. And also, this act is very helpful, especially today where everything is revolving around the internet. Like everything is under control by electronic apps, electronic appliances, and everything. And it is very helpful to us. Therefore, I think that this law is one of the most relevant in our society that is signed by the former President Joseph Ejercito Estrada. Science and technology gives the major contributions in building our nation. We all know that our country, the Philippines, is an archipelago of thousands of islands. Therefore, it is hard for us to connect to the other parts of the country because it is an island. So I can say that the major contributions of science and technology in our country is the communication and transportation. Because through communications, we are able to connect and communicate with the other parts of our country, and also through transportations, we are able to go to the other parts of our country that is far from us, especially that it is an island. Therefore, we need lots of means of transportations, like we need to ride a plane, a boat, or a bus. Therefore, communication and transportation is the major contributions of science and technology in building our nation. Well, as a student, I would like the Estrada administration to implement more rules and laws that will support the students' education. Because the only way to eradicate poverty is to finish your studies and find a better job. Yes, there are some people who do not go to school but they become successful. But still, they studied about it. They gather some knowledge to get on what they are on today. I wish the Estrada administration give more access to students, like scholarships, free state universities, or free tuitions to students, and lots of benefits for students. Because the earlier the government gives focus to the education, the faster it is to eradicate poverty in our country. That's all. Thank you also for having me today.
Perfect! Once again, Miss Vanessa Irene Homarito from Bohol Island State University, main campus. As we interviewed people and have listened to their different perspectives, we can conclude that the Estrada's administrations had a lot of accomplishments in terms of science and technology that people can still recall. His programs are very beneficial up to today's generation. Science and technology contributes a lot to the development of new knowledge and the utilization of that knowledge to boost the prosperity of human lives and to solve the various issues that our society is facing today. And those were our headlines and interviews for this hour. I am Wendelin H. Adrian saying that the science of today is the technology of tomorrow. This has been STS News, Vanguard for Radical Change.